Omniscient Reader, The Prophet, is based off of a Korean webtoon series. This is a movie written and directed. It's going to be the first of a planned 5 films, and there's already a lot of controversy. I didn't know much about this, but it's based off of a 515 chapter webtoon series, so it has a lot of vocal fans, and they don't like the changes made already, and I have no clue what they're talking about. So I'm doing this review as someone who's not ever read the webtoon or knows about it. What I just said is all I know about it. But we're following Kim Dok-ja. He is a regular man. In high school he was bullied a lot, and his only solace in life is reading an online web novel called 3 Ways to Survive the Apocalypse. It's an action-packed story about a trio of heroes. Yoo Jun-hyuk is this really badass swordsman, and he's got 2 sidekicks, and the 3 of them basically have to save the world from an apocalypse. And this novel is so long that it's been basically published for 10 years, and our main character, he is working at a job that's a temp, and he gets fired. So he's hanging out with a co-worker on the train. However, he gets a message from the author saying, I know you didn't like the finale of the book. You thought it was awful. You sent me an email. I'll allow you to change the story. And then at 7 p.m., everything changes when a large scale force of events basically puts humanity in a series of gruesome death matches. They're called the Constellations. They're like entities in space, probably aliens. They basically want to play with humanity in games, and have little avatars show up and basically tell people the rules and stuff. So while he's on the train, a barrier sort of puts them all in the first game. You have 10 minutes to kill a living organism on the train to get fictional money, and you will, or else you'll die within 10 minutes. So it becomes a really high-stakes mix of Scott Pilgrim versus the world, a little bit of The Matrix thrown in, a little bit of Last Starfighter, a lit RPG. It's a little hodgepodge mix of a lot of different stories and a new packaging, and I quite enjoyed this film. This movie's action-packed. It's got some character development, but it's a very high-stakes, high-concept thing. There's a large dinosaur creature that shows up and starts messing with them too. From the very beginning, you sort of get the world building, and the reason why Kim basically has an edge over everyone else is because he's read this novel, so he knows how the world works. So he's almost like someone who's played a video game for a long time and knows all about the video game when it becomes real. Everyone else is clueless and sort of following him, mainly a soldier and a co-worker, and they meet some more people along the way. And basically the hero of the story shows up, and he is supposed to die within several days because he gets ambushed by a large monster in a train station. So they're trying to fight their way to the train station to keep him alive, because if he dies, the entire world will end, and they have to basically help him. But he's an edgelord kind of guy who doesn't care about humanity. We don't know his backstory really. Only a couple backstories of the characters. Obviously, they had to skip a lot of this. We also got to talk about Jisoo. She is a popular K-pop artist turned actress. She's been in a couple of dramas and small roles in films, but her role in this movie is really small. It's basically a glorified cameo. She plays a tertiary character that shows up in the 3rd part of the film, and maybe 5 to 7 minutes of screen time. Doesn't have much to do, but she probably will have more to do throughout if they make more of these movies. Obviously, this probably should have been a K-drama show instead. You could easily have had 5 seasons or 3 to 5 seasons with all the material, as each character. Some characters have more backstory than others. I mean, we get to see Jisoo's character's backstory quickly. The army guy gets a quick backstory. Our main character even has a small one too, but we don't get to see any of the other characters' backstories. But I do like the sort of interesting story. I mean, this is a really weird mix of just a fantasy dungeon crawler, but mixed with Hunger Games. It's very unique. It's very getting to see people at their worst in these terrifying death games. where it's very chaotic and you're just shoved into one scenario into the next, and you don't really get much time to recover. But then of course people have superpowers because you can upgrade yourselves with these coins, and that becomes the new currency of this new world. With coins you can avoid a grisly fate of dying immediately in an arena, or you can use it to trade, buy items from the little avatar guys, or use them, you know, people will kill you over these. So that's why I mentioned Scott Pilgrim versus the World, or Ready Player One. It has this sort of lit RPG sort of element to it that it really adds a unique angle to it. And there's a big finale, big action climax where like one guy's got like his little inventory and he can grab all these cool swords. So it's got some great action. Characters are just okay, I guess, but I can see why people would probably be really mad at this because it's a little bit more basic than it needs to be. There's probably a lot more character development they had to leave on the cutting room floor. But overall, I thought it was enjoyable and unique, and I wasn't bored at all. So I give Omniscient Reader the Prophet a 7 out of 10.